So my audible is visible in front. Elon Musk once said that it's okay to put all your eggs in one basket as long as you can control what happens to that basket. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I did not know, I never knew my own leadership style. Till the time I went on a Toastmasters website, answered a questionnaire to define my leadership style. And I hated the word dictator till the time the website told me I am authoritative in the Toastmaster part. But I don't think so. I am authoritative. Maybe the website is wrong. Friends, tell me, is it wrong for me to yell at a colleague for not answering my email for more than 10 minutes? Or perhaps write a nasty email to a newly joined employee for a silly mistake that caused her a nervous breakdown. After all, I was only trying to motivate them to work harder. What wrong did I do? I am perfect. I don't make mistakes. That is the body language I use to carry to my work every day. If all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, then probably Jack is in the wrong job. He must go to Naukri.com or someplace else and find himself something else. Don't you know? Steve Jobs rightly said that if this does not motivate you, nothing will. I have two posters on my office wall. Poster number one that said that boss is always right. And poster number two said, if you think the boss is wrong, see poster number one. But I realized after two failed startups that things are not working out and I need to change. After all, I was only looking in the mirror, but I should have looked outside the window as a situation demanded. The situation also demanded that I need to learn from others' mistakes. As we all know, we might not live long enough to make them all ours. To admit, I realized that my centralized leadership style was wrong, and I finally started to move to a more decentralized. And a big shout out to this flawlessly impeccable solo club. What better example can I give? The EC changes every year. New members come in. Yet, every meeting, every contest, practically everything, online, offline, or hybrid, goes on perfect. This is the best example of a decentralized leadership, so to say. And the mentorship program that grooms all of us, except of us, of course. If adapted to the modern day business, would churn out an Elon Musk and Steve Jobs every second. I am so sure. Another fantastic example of a decentralized leadership that really inspired me was our own BMC. How to contain the COVID wave, our commissioner decentralized the call center. There was a centralized call center in Bombay City during March 2020. And he decentralized it to 24 ward voice COVID call centers to contain this massive COVID pandemic 2 years ago. The success was so astounding that even the Supreme Court took cognizance of this and instructed all the other states to follow suit to get inspired in their megacities to contain the pandemic, what they have been doing. Friends, to conclude, I have decided and I did to move from a centralized leadership style of myself to a decentralized one that facilitates lateral thinking, invites participation from everybody in the organization, from the top to the lower level of software employee. I have also realized that the leadership style should be a bit more emotionally connected to everybody else. It cannot be very hard and nasty with the words because sometimes it tears somebody apart. So for me, this is my leadership style, a decentralized one, and thanks to this club for inspiring me to realize, what my previous leadership style was. And lastly, don't forget, I am no sober trader, and I publish financial figures frequently. So don't question that because that time I can be really, really well. Thank you.
My speaker today started with an Elon Musk quote. After that, saying about his own experiences, about the evaluations he went on during his pathway learnings, and how clear he was about his inferences that he took today. He started sharing this with his real life experiences that he faced in his office. So here I wanted to come up and share that this was a good thing that you shared your own experiences here and you committed what you felt earlier. Not only that, later on, you uh, thought on that and then you dig out the correct way of your approach. So you went on switching from the centralized approach to the decentralized approach. Here, not only you gave about your real life examples, but you also related it with a good sobo example of the executive committee. Also, you shared an example of the BMC. So it was quite relatable, I feel. All in all, what I want to say is there is a one recommendation at my end. You had a long pause in between. I know it is a difficult thing to speak about this kind of speeches like a leadership style and all, but then it could have been a little. Otherwise, there is a good point which I saw today is after a long time I saw you speaking in front of the stage. So your hand gestures and your movements were awesome in front of stage, and you were looking quite confident today to me, as because I have evaluated you earlier as well. So if I correlate it with your earlier speech, you were confident, your hand gestures were good, and overall it was a good speech, Ashwin. So I want to congratulate you on that. Thank you, and back to you, Makran.